Hey Viking fans, we've had an entire week to let that first victory sink in. I want to take a early look on what have been the biggest differences in year 2022 next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Now make sure you take a moment, go down and hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about what I got to say, because I sure as heck want to hear what you have to say. I comment as much as I can whenever I see it. I love your comments. I love your feedback. I get better every day because of you guys. Thank you for getting me to 660, I think I'll hit today. I appreciate it. Let's go. I want to talk about what has changed, what has made the biggest differences early on after watching week one. Basically what we saw in the offseason has come to fruition. Let's talk about it. I want to go through the list. It's a top 10 list. Why not? Why not? I love a top 10 list. I don't know if you do, but hey, there was 10 things that I think that made a difference. There's more than 10, but I consolidated a few. So we'll talk about that. Let's get rid of Justin. Let's get rid of the Hulk. Now, the number 10 reason that has made the biggest difference in this, what has made the biggest difference is the draft. We have brought in, I'm saying the draft, there hasn't been a huge impact quite yet, but it has given us Ed Ingram to start at right guard. And I believe that's made a big difference currently in the running game. He graded out as a 29 out of 64 in the passing game, which is an improvement. But the draft has also provided us depth. Unfortunately, Boot Jr. Had a quad injury. And didn't play a lot of the game. Lewis Cine is going to make his debut on Monday Night Football. What a night. What a time to make your debut on the road against Philly under the lights. Oh, man. It's going to be a magical night for this kid. I love the fact that he's going to have an opportunity to shine. And no one's seen him yet. Who knows what happens. I'm expecting a big game. Because that guy, the last time he played a football game, it was the biggest of games. And he won a national title, and here he is playing Monday Night Football. That's an awesome thing to think about. But hey, the draft is pretty solid. Asamoah has provided depth, so I feel like I'm put it at 10 because it hasn't made as big an impact yet. But just Ed Ingram alone, starting at right guard, has, and the fact that I feel like we got more depth than we've had in a long time. So hey, I'm gonna do the draft as number 10. Number 9 honestly could be higher, but the kicking game, I was worried that when we switched punters that it would affect the field goal kicking, because there was like a practice where the only two misses all preseason camp was when Wright, the punter, our new punter, was holding. So I was a little worried, but hey, Greg Joseph is now Greg the Leg. We love this kid. We haven't had a kicker this solid in years. So I really like it, man. I really like our kicker, and our punter is flipped the field on people, and he's got them within the 20. I think he'll even get better at that. I think this is probably one of the better punter kicker combos we've had in a long time. So hey, hopefully it continues. He is a rookie. Our punter is a rookie. Our kicker is pretty young too. Let's keep these guys around for a long time. I love it. To not have a problem in the kicking game is a nice, relaxing feeling going into a football game. A guy number 8 is a guy that made a big difference just for being who he is, and that is Mike Pettin. People disparage this move to bring him in as an assistant head coach. the reason why I make him as one of the bigger difference makers in this year's team is because he brought a mindset. He had a in a collaboration. He showed he could do that and improving the defense for the Bears last year, because that wasn't a great roster, and the Bears actually had a pretty decent defense, better than ours. So Mike Pettin, however, made his biggest impact for the fact that he was the guy that turned Zadarius Smith into this nice little piece into one of the most dangerous pass rushers when he was at the Packers. His first 2 years with the Packers. Now Mike Pettin's on our team, and Zadarius Smith openly said, "Hey, let me see about coming to the Vikings. Is Danielle Hunter still there?" Mike Pettin says, "Yes, come on over. We're keeping him." Mike Pettin brought Zadarius Smith over to us, man. And that is the bigger. If that's not one of the biggest difference makers in this year's team, I don't know what is. So, hey, and the other guy, I give even more credit where credit is due. Ed Donatel coming in, revamping. This is probably should be higher. But I'm putting it here, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Ed Donatel is changed our defense, and he's done it in 1 year. I know it's our first game, but you could tell the adjustments he made in the middle of the game, the different fronts where he put Zadarius Smith. People came from the lane integrity he must have preached like no other, because oh my gosh, Aaron Rodgers had nowhere to go. We got 4 sacks on him. We got the strip sack that I predicted. We got the Smith interception that I predicted. I did say that Kendricks would have got one too. That was a bold prediction in time, but the third I thought we were gonna get an interception from Kendricks. However, late in the game, he did have that pass breakup in the end zone to keep them from scoring a touchdown. So Ed Donatel brought a defense in here. He was able to teach it and get them to buy in one off season, and Ed Donatel deserves a hell of a lot of credit. He was one of the biggest difference makers. Now, here's a guy that I thought was going to be okay. I thought, hey, he's a good signing. We lost Pierce. And we had a bad run defense last year and the year before. We bring in Harrison Phillips. Now, Harrison Phillips, again, looked really good in the game. He's surprised some people on his pass rush ability in the preseason practices. However, he knows his job, and that's the stuff to run. And he kept his lane integrity. He pushed the pocket when there wasn't a run. But Harrison Phillips cleared the way for the next guy. Next guy was Jordan Hicks. He only had 14 tackles, 9 solo this last game, and he had a big sack that led to a strip fumble of Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Hicks, because of Harrison Phillips, allows a Jordan Hicks to roam free. And going into this Eagles game, it's going to be important that, hey, Jordan Hicks has free reign to go lay a hit on Hurts when he tries to scramble or run for a first down. So Harrison Phillips is a big piece, a big important piece, and it was an awesome signing, not just a good one now. Harrison Phillips, and he's a team leader. Jordan Hicks is a team leader. Jordan Hicks is like best friends, it seems, with Eric Kendricks. These guys can't sing their praises enough. They are just great teammates. All these guys that they brought in, and I'll talk this up a little bit later. They're gelling together. You got Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter being best buds. You got you got Jordan Hicks and Eric Kendricks being best buds. It's just this team chemistry that they put together in one offseason has been amazing. And I'll talk about that and who made that happen here in a little bit. Now, Zadarius Smith, out of the gate, I got him 4th. He could be 1st, but hey, he's only one guy. Zadarius Smith has made has been one of the biggest difference makers. His leadership, his attitude, his let's just win, baby. I want to wreak havoc on this field type of attitude. His infectious personality that is just permeating this team right now. Zadarius Smith is number 4 on this list of biggest difference makers, and he was brought here by Mike Pettin, so you can thank him for that. Now, the next guy who's made the biggest difference is Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, because he went against the grain. Everybody said, burn this down, restart, do this over, and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah said, nope. I'm gonna take this team. I'm gonna put it together in what I think would be a good football team. We don't need to burn it down. I think he may have been under a mandate by ownership, but he recognized the pieces we had and what he had to bring in, and the way he was able to navigate salaries to put such a good team together and to not make bad choices. And one of those choices would be the next thing I'm going to talk about, and that is Kevin O'Connell. He made the not the most notable hire, because we were almost had Harbaugh. We would have had Harbaugh as our coach. Mensah went a different direction, got Kevin O'Connell, and you can tell the discipline we now have on offense, the organization, the mistakes are just disappeared. The fact that now Kirk Cousins, now I've chose that. You notice I don't have any players that have been here for a while, or personnel that have been here for a while. The only guy I would say would be Greg Joseph, but I went with kicking game, right? But with Kevin O'Connell, he has able to transform this offense to what we've always wanted as fans. Get up to the line of scrimmage early, survey the field, make the adjustments, do things like motion to put people in good positions. Just recognize, being able to audible. Kirk Cousins is going to flourish in this offense. I like repeating what I hear. I don't have access to a lot of analytic tools yet, but they said that the Cousins was the 6th most pressured quarterback in last week, and he was number 1 in handling pressure. So people talk about, Kevin O'Connell's given him more confidence, and that's why he's more confident. No, he's given him better plays. He's given him better tools to work with. We go 11 personnel over 70% of the time now. It's 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers, or 4 receivers, depending on what you're doing. Or not, one tight end, but 3 receivers. But also he's gone to 4 receivers and empty backfields. So he's done that so much to where if he did have pressure, Kirk Cousins knows there's more than 1 or 2 guys in routes. So he has more people, more weapons out on that field to where he knows where they're at. So if he does avoid a sack, he can step up and know that one of these guys may be open. So hey, that there's just more options for him to throw. So that's why he's able to handle more pressure. Tell me I'm wrong. Fight me on that. Kirk Cousins has more options, so if he's being pressured and he escapes, he has more places, more choices, more opportunities. We went from 42% to over 70 and 11 personnel. That means there's more receivers out there in pattern, faster, better guys to throw the ball to than when you are in the I formation with 2 tight ends and 1 receiver. Come on, guys. It just makes sense. Fight me on it. Kevin O'Connell is the biggest difference maker. Biggest difference maker as far as personnel goes of being employed by the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell is making us look better, act better, feel better. And one of the things he has brought to this team that had been lacking is team culture. These guys want to play together. These guys like each other and probably love each other. They brought people in like a Harrison Phillips, Jordan Hicks, Darius Smith, who have infectious I love football attitudes that permeate this team. They want to get on the field. They've been eager to get on the field, and now they're getting a chance to play. And what do? They beat the Packers at home in great fashion. We jumped from power ranked in the 20s to the single digits in most polls, except for UPFF. Anyways, the team culture is changed, and that is the number one difference maker in this year's team than it has been in the past. I hope you like a show like this. I love doing them. I appreciate it. Tell me in the comments of what you think of the choices I made. What have been the biggest difference makers that you've seen? Thank you for listening. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Again, comment, tell me what you think. It also helps push the algorithm to get my content out there. And I thank you for being a part of this. Skull Vikings. See you next time. Cue the music. Thank you, Viking fans, for listening. Make sure you catch my other episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you. Skull Vikes.